And welcome back to HirePresence. It's your Pat Dewar, and I've got a great show for you today. I'm so thankful for Jody Holland being here. Jody owns a company called MuRF Systems. You can go to MuRFsystems.com, and that's actually MuRF Systems.com. And what Jody has brought to the table today, is bringing to the table, is really how to find out what you were built to do and begin to do that. I love to say, do what you love to do and then send an invoice or get paid for it, okay? So that's part of what we're talking about, is how to find that core competency that you can market and that can help you solve that problem in other employers' lives so that you become hired. And then also, I want to talk a little bit about how the employer can find the right people and really what the employer's looking for when you get into a job interview. Last section we talked about the importance of the first 10 seconds of an interview. This time, Jody, I want to go deeper into what's an employer doing in that first 4 minutes. What are they thinking? What are they looking for? How are they processing all the information?
Well, one of the things that we try to do with clients is recondition them to not make such an intense judgment just on the way a person walks in. It's human nature to do that, but what they're looking at is, how similar is this person to my beliefs? Most people who are doing hiring, whether they intend to or not, are trying to bring in people that are just like them. If you can engage with a person, you have a good shot at getting hired. What we would like to see in companies, and what our more successful companies are doing, is we create a success pattern. We'll take a look at what their top performers look like, and then we match against those top performers. So when you're bringing someone in, you have a blueprint in front of you to say, here's what we want, here's what we've got. We lay them over each other and we see where they fit and where they don't. And if you can find out where the gaps are, then you know specifically what to do to develop them if you hire them. And what I always tell our clients is, just look at the amount of work it's going to take to get them to where you want to be. If it's a little bit of work, go for it. If it's a whole lot of work, you may want to keep looking. Unfortunately, when times are really good, people hire whoever walks in the door. When times are really bad, they get overly picky. There's not very often a middle ground that we can find there.
Well, I know that they're also looking at the culture.
Yes.
A lot of times that when you're going into a sales team, are you even going to be a good fit for the sales team? If you're a hyper alpha and they've already got 4 alphas on the block,
yeah, you don't need another one.
Ow.
Yeah.
I mean, it is herd mentality.
And the other side of that is when you start looking at how you're bringing a person in. You mentioned culture. If you hire on fit, the person will stay. If you hire on skill sets, you only have a 17% likelihood of keeping that person, according to Harvard. So
that's shocking.
The
17%.
17.
If they've got the skill.
Yeah, they've got the skill. Now, most of how we hire is we look at their work history, we look at their experience, their education, but what do we fire people for?
Usually it's
Their
bad attitude, and that's right,
yeah.
Personality.
Attitude and personality. So we fire for a lack of fit. If we would just hire for the fit in the first place, you can teach any skill set, but you cannot teach fit. So if you look at the right things, and you can keep people. You can take your likelihood as an employer of hiring and retaining a top performer from the 17% that Harvard Business put out there to 83% by using the right systems and the right processes. So using the psychometric tools drastically increases your likelihood of finding the right person. I tell a story in the book, My Judo Life, about Cody Stevenson, the main character, who he's burned out in his job, he's unhappy with where he's at, and he decides, you know what, I'm just making the wrong choices. And so he decides, I'm going to make better choices. He starts doing everything he thinks he's supposed to do in sales, and on Wednesday of that week gets laid off. It's the same thing that happened. I've probably heard the story 200 times now. People going, I was doing what I was supposed to, and they still cut me. Well, instead of just crumbling, he decides to continue with that personal accountability. And he had set an appointment. He went to the appointment, presented that he had nothing to sell, and simply solved a problem. When you look at employees or independent consultants, or either one of those, that's what employers want. Someone who will solve a problem, who is enthusiastic about what they're doing, and will be a part of the team. Not try to control the team, but will be a good part of that team.
One of the things that I've seen that's really not just relevant, but hyper important right there to tune into, is why would they be hiring for that position? Okay, really think about that, because I mean, I've been in the position where I was approaching a corporate sales position, and I did a ton of study on who I was going to be meeting, but then I also asked, why would they be doing this? Well, they were setting the company up to be sold. They were, trying to beef up their numbers. They were doing all these different things. So then I went in with that kind of information saying, well, it looks to me like you guys are about to sell this thing. That's fine. A couple of years, we become part of the solution.
Right.
So I know that there's a lot more information that we're going to get into. Now, you have a couple of websites. Let's make sure we give those.
Yeah, mygudolife.com is about the book and a training series that goes with that. And then MuRFsystems.com has all of our tools and relevant information on there.
And they just want to connect to you. You have contact us information.
Yeah, contact us on both of those sites.
That's really good. Well, we're really getting into some I'll call it meat and potatoes on not just how to land a job, but how to make sure that you're a good fit for them. And as the employer that might be watching this, you're trying to make sure that you're finding the right fit. Like you said, skills are not as important as fit. With that, we got one more section of this in HirePresence. Pat Dewar will be right back.
The Weight Loss Surgery Channel is the world's first online television network devoted exclusively to the weight loss surgery community. Find the information, support, and guidance that can keep you on the road to success. The Weight Loss Surgery Channel, here for you on the web 24 hours a day, every day. Visit us at weightlosssurgerychannel.com.